A lot has changed in Glendale in those years, hasn't it?
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. Back then, Glendale was a relatively bustling suburb of Los Angeles,
Mhm.
and now it's slowly but surely going to the next level. With all that growth, we've had our issues. We have our issues, and we have to resolve them.
Yeah.
There was a reason why me and Marina decided to stay in Glendale when we got married. It was a nice, clean place. It was safe. And we could afford the housing that we needed at that time. Over the years, though, although we're still a pretty safe place, traffic has become an issue. Housing has become an issue. Housing prices have spiked. And it's that and concerns like those that I had in my mind when I decided to run for Glendale City Council.
Let's talk about traffic first. How are we going to address that, or how are you planning to address that?
Well, let's first of all understand the scope of the problem. Traffic is a byproduct of the city's own density, the number of people who live there. More people, more cars, more traffic. It provides us with a lot of amenities, but at the same time, there's a cost to pay. The city is less safe because of it. And all of us pay more in insurance premiums because of all the accidents that we have as a result of it. And there's a couple of ways of approaching it, and both of them have to be pursued. The first thing that we need to do is a comprehensive traffic study. Our city's last traffic study, if I'm not mistaken, was done a couple of decades ago. And even now, when I attend different meetings with the traffic division organized by local homeowners associations, it is very obvious that the traffic is being looked at in a very segmented way instead of a big, comprehensive way of looking at things. I'll give you a perfect example. In one area, they call cars that drive through it cut through traffic, right? So you have a neighborhood and cars go through it, cut through traffic. And they look at that neighborhood and they try to address those issues. But wait a minute. Cut through traffic in one neighborhood is nothing other than spillover traffic from another neighborhood. So if you look at only one neighborhood, what you're forgetting is what caused the problem there in the first place.
You have to look at the big picture.
Exactly. And so on and so on and so on. So a comprehensive study is called for. Number two, on a very technical basis, one of the biggest problems that drivers will tell you about, if you ask them, is the synchronicity of our lights. And that is another thing that we have to work very hard to achieve. Synchronicity throughout the city as much as possible between the red lights that we have. And finally, there's a law enforcement component to any traffic mitigation policy. Because at the end of the day, one of the issues that we have, unfortunately, is speeding, reckless driving, careless driving. And in order to approach the problem in a truly comprehensive way, what you need to do is to have a higher number of law enforcement officers who specialize in traffic policing. So that is, I try to be as comprehensive as possible in my approach to that particular issue.